Why Arctic and Antarctica are melting so fast? There's a forecast that in 100 years, coming 100 years, ice will melt from the Arctic Ocean or the North Pole and Antarctic. 10% of the world is still, glaciers. 10% of the world's earth still has glaciers. And this issue is so dangerous, it's so threatening. The fast melting of Greenland, North Pole and South Pole, that is Antarctica. What will be the implications if this process is not reversed? The process of the melting of Arctic, Antarctic, or the melting of glaciers in other regions of the world, including Himalayas, Hindu Kush, Karakoram. So there are a couple of things which we need to bear in mind. The first is that in the year 2020, the seawater level increased 13 centimeters. And there is prediction that if the ice melts, all the ice melts, then the sea level will rise to 68.3 meters. Where that water will go? We know very well that the melting of glaciers, melting of ice, is because of global warming and climate change, leading to climate change. Too much of industrialization, use of fossil fuel has destroyed not only the environment of this world, the ecosystem of this world, but has threatened the very survival of 8 billion people of this earth. Now, the implications, certainly the causes are there, that why glaciers are melting, why Antarctic and Arctic are melting, why Greenland is melting, why there is the rise as far as the sea level is concerned, tsunami, earthquakes. If North Pole or the Arctic region melts, then certainly this world will face a catastrophe. A lot of research has been done in the last several years to analyze the melting of Arctic. There's a book, Arctic Opening, Insecurity and Opportunity, published in 2013 by Routledge Press. And the book is an eye-opener because of the reason that the melting of the Arctic or ice-free Arctic or the erosion of ice from the North Pole will lead to the shortest navigation route from Europe to Asia. Instead of passing through the Suez Canal and Indian Ocean and the Strait of Malacca, ships from Europe and North America will sail through the North Pole or the Arctic. And the distance from Europe and North America to Asia will be reduced to around 30%. So that is one thing which is possible. Even now, during summertime, the position of ice accumulated, the Arctic Ocean or the Arctic Sea, is diminishing. And more navigation is taking place. Now, The problem is basically that around 60% of Arctic is controlled by Russia. And Arctic has world's 50% of gas reserves and 40% of oil reserves. So there's a lot of potential. And if North Sea or the North Pole and the Arctic melts, certainly it will lead to the new navigation routes. It will lead to new conflicts because Russia will try to, impose its dominance over the navigation as far as the Arctic is concerned. Antarctic. Unlike Arctic, which is surrounded by various countries, that's not the case with Antarctic or Antarctica. But Antarctica, a huge frozen piece of land, and Antarctica is melting. And Antarctica is melting faster than Arctic. So North and South, both, North Pole and South Pole. And as North and South Pole will melt in coming 100 years, if the process of global warming is not reversed, if climate change, if that issue is not taken into account, seriously speaking, then the world will not be destroyed by nuclear weapons or weapons of mass destruction, but by, as far as the environment is concerned. So what are the measures which should be taken to prevent the melting of Arctic and Antarctic? The damage has been done. And it is also the fact that in 100 years, if all the ice melts and the sea level rises to 68.1 meter or something like that, then all the islands will be submerged underwater. The coastal areas, all the coastal areas will be submerged underwater. Millions of people, billions of people will perish. So the solution is basically, if they start now, and they have been doing it, they have been trying the level best. The first conference of UN Environmental Program was held in 1972 in Stockholm, Sweden. And since 1880, ice is melting as far as the North Pole is concerned. But the pace in the recent past has increased substantially. So the first thing is basically to deal with the use of fossil fuel, to focus as far as renewable energy is concerned, windmill, solar energy, hydropower, because the use of fossil fuel, which means gas, oil and coal, has destroyed the ecosystem and the environment of the world. Pakistan contributes only 1% of fossil fuel, but the floods in Pakistan prove that it will face more natural calamities. So therefore, those countries responsible for global warming, industrialized countries of the world, like G7 countries, like China, like India, these countries must do something about it. It is not only the melting of glaciers, it is also as far as deforestation is concerned. The Amazon Valley, the diminishing status of jungles, rainforests in different parts of the world. So lust, greed, these two things which caused global warming, climate change, melting of glaciers, cannot be reversed. because enormous damage has been done. Therefore, what is possible is to contain, limit the process of the melting of glaciers. And Pakistan is a country like other South Asian countries facing enormous threats of the melting of glaciers as far as Himalaya is concerned, Hindu Kush, Karakoram, because non-polar glaciers, world's 60% to 70% non-polar glaciers are located in the Himalayas, Hindu Kush and Karakoram, and these are fast melting. So the river sea level will rise, the river, there will be lot of water, there will be lot of rainfall, there will be lot of water in the river, and then there will be no water. There will be famine, and there will be, deserts. So this is a doomsday scenario which people must understand, and those who matter, so that the process of the melting of glaciers, of ice, Antarctic, Arctic, and in other parts of the world is reversed. Thank you very much.